And, comedians always, make up stories where people, come up to them and say something after the show. This guy literally, true story, came up to me after the show, and he's like, so what's your deal with Amish dudes? So to be real with you guys, I really want to tell you about how my 2018 has been going. But in order to do that, I'm going to need your help, okay? So whenever you see the whoosh, finger guns, that's your excuse to lose it like it's the best news you've ever heard in your life, okay? We're going to practice once, though, all right? Whoosh. Yes! All right. First, I was savagely rejected from graduate school. Whoosh. Yes. Then, my live-in boyfriend of almost 3 years told me he just couldn't be my boyfriend anymore. It's fine, though. I didn't have to move out, right? Because he loved me like a roommate. Yes. Slay queen. I mean, don't be jealous, right? We can't all be me. Yeah, I got rejected from graduate school in a very savage way involving a blog that I wrote when I was 18 years old. So I come home, and I'm sad and I'm embarrassed. And he's like, you give me anxiety. I feel like you want to get married and I just can't get married, right? And I don't know why you think that, right? And I get it, right? Marriage is scary. It's a lifelong commitment that you're making to this person. But it's like, why would I think that? Let me just guess. Maybe, call me crazy, but maybe it was one he signed me up for and then drove me to religious conversion class. So that we could get married. Right? But it was probably my period. Bitches are crazy. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was pretty messed up. I'm going to be real with you. It was pretty messed up, hard to get over. But I decided that I was not going to let it bring me down. Right? I decided I'm going to get over this. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to own it. So I did what we all do when we're feeling depressed. Say it with me. Took a Facebook quiz. Nobody else? See, here's the thing, though. I hate taking Facebook quizzes. I hate inviting people to take quizzes. I'm not one of those people, right? But this particular one, right, was the first one to ever catch my attention. It was called What Alter Ego Represents Your Sex Life? Okay. I'll bite. Maybe I'll get Spider-Man. Maybe I'll get Wolverine. I don't know. I got Amish. And it wasn't even one of the choices on the quiz, so I'm not really sure. I told this true story. I told that joke in California a couple weeks ago. And, comedians always make up stories where people come up to them and say something after the show. This guy literally, true story, came up to me after the show and he's like, so what's your deal with Amish dudes? And, I was having a good time, so at that point, I had completely forgotten I told that joke, and I was like, I don't have a problem with Amish dudes. And he was like, I'll have you know, I live very close to an Amish community, right? And I'm like, oh, we're doing that thing where you're not a part of the group, but you get to be offended for them. Sorry, I forgot it was 2018. And he was like, I'll have you also know that they have nothing better to do than have sex. And suddenly, my score got so much better. And I thanked him and I walked away and he was very confused. I know I just told you guys a bunch of miserable stuff about my life, but I actually had a pretty good last week. I don't mean TMI, but I feel like we're all friends here. On the 4th of July, I bought the Plan B pill. What? Okay, that's a lie. I almost bought the Plan B pill. Things haven't improved a lot. But here's the thing. I have a really hot pharmacist, right? And I wanted him to think that I was the type of girl that needed the Plan B pill. So I walked in, right? I walk into Walgreens and I'm like, Steven, that's his name, Steven, give me the pill for the girl who had their crazy Tuesday. And Steven was like, well, I would, but I saw you in here on Tuesday. And you were browsing the DVDs, the $5 rack, and you had a pint of Ben & Jerry's, and you had like a magazine under your arm, and you were wearing those sweats that say like Chicago and glitter down the side, and you were openly weeping. So I'm gonna save you $35 and tell you you don't need it. He was right. He wrote his name at the bottom of the receipt and his number like 1-800-Walgreens. I called and he put me on hold. It's fine. I can play the long game, Steven. It's great. So I know you can't tell, but I'm actually from the state of Arkansas. I know. You're like, nuh-uh, you sound like Hillary. They chased me out at the last rally. Get out of here. Threw like flag. I don't know. So I'm from the state of Arkansas. And my parents, they hate it when I tell jokes about the state of Arkansas, right? Like primarily when I tell jokes about my family being from the state of Arkansas. My mom's like, I feel like, she doesn't really sound like this. It just makes her nuts when I impress it to her. I feel like whenever you tell jokes about your family, and then you record them after performing them on stage, and then you post them on YouTube, and then you share them on Facebook, and then you tag the person you're talking about in them, I feel like you can hurt people's feelings. And it makes sense. It does. But here's the thing. I don't make anything up, right? Like, I don't write anything. They just do what they do, and I talk about it, like, in front of you guys, right? But here's the thing. It's like, okay, I get it. Like, I'm the bully. I totally understand. Maybe, call me crazy, maybe if my aunt didn't fake having cancer for 9 years, maybe I wouldn't talk about it. If my cousin, right, didn't think that the way you quit the military was just not going back anymore, maybe I wouldn't talk about it, right? If my cousin weren't in prison for escaping prison, for escaping jail, for stealing hairspray when he was 17, maybe I wouldn't talk about it. But I'm the bad guy. I went to the University of Arkansas Monticello. Give it up if you've heard of the Razorbacks. Not the one I went to, just the expensive one they want you to think you're going to. I went to UAM and we were the Boll Weevils. Round of applause if you've ever heard of a boll weevil. Right? Here's the thing. If you don't know what that is, I'll tell you. A boll weevil is an already extinct bug that was once known for wiping out the cotton crops in the South, right? So in 1902, when my school was founded, that was a big deal. Right? Oh, God. Here come the boll weevils. But now it's like, oh, God, here come the bugs that proved crop dusting was a successful venture. I went there for 3 years. I graduated a year early. Thank you. Bam. And literally the 3 years we went there, I'm not making this up, I remember us winning one game, and it was against an online school. But it's like, who do you think's going to win, right? The Tigers, the Bears, these don't exist anymore. But we find them in our rice sometimes, I think. I'm going to leave you guys on this, though. My bike tires got slashed. I'm crushing it this year, guys. My bike tires got slashed, so I've been taking a lot of Ubers and a lot of Lyfts, right? And every time I get in an Uber and every time I get in a Lyft, the driver wants to talk to me about brunch. The driver's like, brunch? Brunch? You going to brunch? Going to brunch? Gonna brunch with your friends? Brunch, 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 right? And I'm like, excuse me, I thought this was 2018. Like, I thought we were supposed to stop, like, labeling people. I thought we were supposed to stop, like, judging people based on their appearance, like, making assumptions, like, miscategorizing them. It pisses me off so much, honestly, I can't even finish my brunch. Thank you.